I want to welcome you to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. My fault, just Gye-Nyame Journey. Is that y'all got that playing downstairs? We're going downstairs, ladies. All right, shouts out to Miss Stephanie M. Jackson. Thank you for tuning in. All right, I'm running kind of late on this Nia, my crazy daughter. Hey, turn that down. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame.
What?
Turn it down.
Okay.
Shouts out to Miss LaDonna Copeland. Thank you for tuning in. All right, I'm late on this Nia day. It's something I need to do. Oh, I'm going to open the phone lines this morning because we got just a little bit of time. Those that want to call in, or if you want to get up on screen, let me know. And we're going to make it happen. But I'm going to open these phone lines because I want us to have a discussion. I had a nice little chat last night with Brother Shaka, who's a regular guest on Tribal Quotes, and it was nice. And it was nice. We have some powerful proverbs. So I'm opening up the lines. The number is 614.
You are the first participant on the call. Please hold while we wait for the
614-556. Let me type this up for y'all. I'm going to type it up for y'all. Y'all ain't even got to work. All you got to do is type the number in. Hold on, baby. Ooh, that's right. You said the number? 614-556-4535. My daughters be loving to get into it, but I'm not trying to get them up in here with the hair all messed up like that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let me go and post this number up for y'all real quick, and we can start our little discussion because we are on Nia. Great Nia, family. Great Nia, right? We are definitely in Kwanzaa season. I know some people are out shopping like they lost their minds, right? But some of us are planning like we're trying to gain our minds. All right, so let me go on and post this number up for anybody that want to call in and have a conversation about Nia, about the idea of purpose. I want to just have a short conversation with y'all about why I slept in today. 614-556-4535. Sasha, close the door.
Okay.
Turn that down.
Okay.
You can turn it down using this.
No, that's why I'm using it.
Man, all right, listen, I'm on this. I ain't got time to be doing all that. All right, so I'm going to go on and pin it up. So here we go, family. Today is Nia. For those that don't speak the language, the word is purpose. The Ma'atic principle is balance. The M7, of course, is still purpose. The color is yellow. The Hermetic law is rhythm. Male name for today is Kofi. Female name, Afua. I have a daughter named Afua. All right, so family, I was up late last night catching up on some movies because I don't get a lot of time to watch movies. I'm looking for some little subtle hints, some new ideas, some creative turns. So I sat down and I watched a movie called Prometheus and Loopers. All right. Prometheus. My God, listen. Prometheus is a movie I wouldn't suggest that anybody watch. It's very long. I didn't like it. Right? But what I did see, right, because it's somehow they tie it into Alien, right? But the movie is about what happens when West Asians run into space Asians. I'm just saying. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a long space movie about what happens when one aggressive race runs into another aggressive race, basically. And it was horrible. I wouldn't suggest that you waste. I can't get that damn time back, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, it was so, I fall asleep anyway, but I fell asleep woke up, it was still on. It's a 2-hour movie, right? Where at the end they tied into Alien, and then you got a white woman running off to go and save the human race because she want to find out why the creators of the human race want to destroy the human race. These aliens had a whole planet where they was just experimenting with how to kill people. You know what I'm saying? It was just so you know, I might have to see it again just so that I can go on and break down some of the symbolism, stuff like that. But I wouldn't suggest that you waste your life on that, right? Then I saw the movie Loopers. Hence, I had to sleep in. I mean, I don't even... Loopers did a little bit too much. It's about time traveling and psychokinesis, psychokinetic powers, right? I wouldn't suggest watching that one either. So, hey, now we are on Nia, the idea of purpose, and one of my sisters, by the name of Miss Madonna Hill, posted up that there should be a principle in Kwanzaa called warriorism, right? But one of the things I want to stress to all those that practice the Nguzo Saba, that use the Nguzo Saba in your life, warriorism is what the practice of the Nguzo Saba is about. You know what I'm saying? It's about overcoming personal and community conflicts. What is a warrior? One who is experienced or involved in conflict. We are involved in conflict every day of our life, and especially if you're like me, every day. So you're overcoming these, but the tools that you use. See, warriorism is not a principle. Warrior is a way of existing, right? So maybe it could be a principle. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But like when you apply the Nguzo Saba, the Emoja, the Kuchi Chagalia, the Ujima, the Ujama, the Nia, the Kumba, and the Mani, you become a warrior, right? You become a warrior. Why? Because you are doing things that warriors do. You're concerned about cooperative economics. You're concerned about responsibility and working as a group. You're committed to bringing some form of unity. You are self-determined. These are all things. You are principled. You are on purpose. You practice faith. You have faith. You trust. You're working hard towards something, even though it may seem impossible. And you are definitely creative. These are all principles that warriors have to activate in order to be successful on any battlefield. Right? Now, in the movies, they try to show us that you can be a lone warrior, like Wick. Like I just saw that movie. Wick? I can't remember the name of John Wick. In Loopers, you get the same motif. You get the one that the old dude that was in Loopers was in, where he was in the building running around barefooted. He was running around barefooted. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the name. He did about 4 of those movies. But you always get these movies where individuals run and fight a whole army by their damn self. And then, you get the idea that that's what being a warrior is about. Now, if need be, a warrior does that. But what a warrior strives to do is to build a team that can handle business with him. You understand what I'm saying? It's always, for us, it's always about the team. It's not about the individual, right? The individual is important, but that individual, when you can unite it with the team, it's sort of like that whole concept of Voltron, right? Where you power up when you're around like-minded like conditioned individuals, and you are able to carry forth the mission, right? Now, and I want you to understand, it's bigger than just being able to pick up a gun. It's bigger than being able to take a knife. It's bigger than being able just to take a sword and go out and destroy the enemy, right? Because we are in the days of modern warfare. Well, we have to understand that warfare takes place in the field of politics. Warfare takes place in the field of economics, right? And we have to be able to utilize, see what the reason that a lot of people can look at the principal systems right now is because we're not working the principal system on purpose. Since we on Nia today, we're not working them on purpose. We're doing the principles haphazardly and accidentally, right? When the principles are not being utilized and focused and used on purpose, right? I keep on trying to tell y'all, with the principles, we should work from the inside out. What we have been taught is to work from the outside in, right? What do I mean? Everything we have been taught as black folks in America is backwards. We have been designed to serve others first, right? We have been trained over hundreds of years of oppression to serve others first. And I need y'all to understand, I really need y'all to sit back and think about that. Because enslavement is about you serving outside first, and then you take care of yours. That's what slavery is about. That's what enslavement is about. That's what captivity is about. In order to stay alive, you have to be willing to serve others before yourself. That shit is backwards. And that is the mind state that a lot of us come here with, right? And this is the mind state that have been instilled in us. This is why you can look at the Nguzo Saba and not see warriorship in there, because you start looking at the principles like this. Umoja is about bringing everybody together. No, first, the principles have to be activated inside of you. So unity is not a matter of you bringing everybody in together as one. It's about you unifying the 5 parts of who you are, the 5 parts of your being, the intuition, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical. Bringing them together as a fist, as I often tell y'all, so that you can be effective. And then as you start bringing yourself and learning how to bring yourself into line, you're able to pull others with you. So the principles start from the inside out, and then you practice the principles first with yourself, then with your family, then with your tribe, right? From your tribe, you're able to do it with your community, and from your community, you're able to do it with your city. From your city, you're able to do it with your state. From your state, you're able to do it with your country. From your country, you're able to unify the world. But right now, we're working ass backwards. We're trying to unify the world without first unifying us. In order for people to understand what you're talking about with unity, they have to see it activated somewhere. And it needs to be activated with the one that's talking about it. So when we're talking about practicing our principles and we apply the concept of purpose, right? That's when the whole warriorship part of it fires up. You understand what I'm saying? Because now I'm practicing my principles on purpose. I'm working on me. I'm working on my family. I'm working on my tribe. I'm working on my community. I'm working from the inside outwards. Enslaved people work from the outside in. So first they're going to try to unite the world and unite the nation and unite the state and unite the city and unite the tribe and unite the family, and then finally, when I have done the impossible, I begin to work on me. That shit don't work. It don't work. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to build family, we have to be willing to start from the inside out. Living our lives on purpose. Warriors are purposeful, right? A warrior understands conflict. A warrior understands how to use that conflict to his or hers her advantage. Rather than being overcome by the conflict, we are able to get the lesson from it, because conflicts come to teach us lessons. Whether the conflict is in something as simple as trying to figure out what the fuck somebody's talking about in the book, to actually being on the battlefield. Can I get the lesson? Can I build myself from this? And if not, you know what I'm saying? And if we lose, and that loss means that we lose our lives, we understand that we are generational people. Shouts out to Miss LaDonna Copeland. Shouts out to Navita Nelson. Shouts out to Yolanda Brooks. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. All right. So now back. So now it's time for us to toast these ancestors. And I am excited about it because we're moving into this whole, we're moving to actually, we do Kwanzaa 365. That's the goal. Working on it. Get these principles alive and working. Oh, I still got a glass of water to drink. Yeah, this water, this Aquapana, it only has 25 fluid ounces. I try to do 32. Each one of these is about 8. Oh, damn. That's not no water? Oh, all right, pour it to tea. All right, so let's do these libations. That's what happened when you start getting old, baby. All right. So we talked about that. So we're going to lift up our glass. We're going to lift up our glass, calling the ancestors. Calling the ancestors. Come on out. Come on out. Give me a second, family. I just wasted some. As y'all can hear, my babies is having a good time, a good old time. So let's get this toast on, because I know some of y'all got stuff to do. Calling those ancestors. First, calling the first ancestor. That creative force, that creative power. We call on the Creator. We lift up our glass and we thank the Creator for giving us another opportunity to move through this time and space. So we lift up our glass and we salute the first ancestors and we say, Ashe. From there, we move on to our personal ancestors. We call on the grandmothers and the grandfathers, the great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. We call on the brothers and the sisters. We call on the cousins and the friends. We call on the nieces and nephews. All of those that made the transition before us. We lift up our glass and we salute them and we think about them. And man, do I have a list for y'all. Right? All right. So now, I'm going to start with my family line family. This is where you do your family line. Calling on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, Georgia and William Walton, Kristen Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland Brown, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Barbara Twiggs, Herman Brown II, Wash Ellis Jr., Nikki Ellis, my cousin Nikki Ellis. Oh my God. We moved to John Fillard, Jeremiah Tappan, Jamon Jones, Katie Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, Montague Pittman L. Dang, this is what's going on here. I gotta write this down because I'm forgetting my ancestors. What's going on? Right? Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, Montague Pittman L. John Fillard, Nomo X, Sapet Mont Ra, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Millie Dixon, Elder Farmer, Dr. Marianne Williams, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal. Mama Malika. All right, now let's read yours. Y'all ready? Because the list got long. So let's start with the Tyree Family Village. We got Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose. From there, we got Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullian, the Luxor Brothers, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Mary McDowell. From there, we have Janet Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randleman. The list is building, family. Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Ware, Lavita Farmer, Rio Farmer, Agoso Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickerson, Chisi Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Erskine Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankston, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Uvania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Worlds, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Gross, Beggy Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinier, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russelyn Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, and Vina Triggs. So family. Oh, and I got Imhotep on the list. So we are building the list, and it is growing. And I want to thank y'all. Now I got to sit down and do the work because I got to retype and try to read all those names and get them all on the daily sheet so that when we toast it, we're not missing anybody. We're not missing anybody, right? Because it's important to toast those answers. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move on to our present moment. Right now, we are in Nia. Nia is purpose, and I just did my little thing on purpose, family. And I'm just gonna beg. I'm begging you Live your life on purpose, right? Not on accident. Many of us are living our lives on accident. I'm asking that you lay out a plan for yourself. And the plan might not go exactly as it needs to go, right? But the plan can still be worked. You know what I'm saying? Because when plans run up into obstacles, they often evaporate. But then that's when your creativity comes out, right? Lay out a purpose, family. Find your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So we toast this moment. We are in purpose. I read the principles for the day, but let's look at from the emotional emancipation circles that's going on all over the country. They have a list of African-centered cultural virtues and values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In Wolof, the word of the day is mandu. Being appreciative of what you have and not envious of others. Akan, the word of the day is justice. From the Akan people, the word of the day is justice. In the traditional Yoruba, the word of the day is titu, which means endurance, family. We have to focus on that T2. Think about that endurance, because we have it, right? Now we need to go and just focus it in the right direction. Rather than just focusing on surviving with that endurance, we need to go and turn that endurance to a point to where now we can start living, right? Because I know a lot of us, we think that we're not surviving, but miss 2 checks. Hell, some of us miss half a check. You know what I'm saying? Let them take a week off one of your checks and see if you'll be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's survival. You know what I'm saying? Living is when you are able to have a store. You know, not the kind of store where you go and shop, but a storage where you are able to, boom, if something happened, our grandparents used to call them pantries. You know what I'm saying? What I got in the pantry. You know what I'm saying? I looked at some people's pantry one day and I saw chips. I mean, it was like the snack cabinet. It wasn't no goddamn pantry. A pantry had shit preserved and ready for, you know, if anything happened. In many ways, we got to get back to that. Not that I'm expecting anything tragic to happen, but just in case. And family, we need to make sure we got our tribe around us, just in case, right? So we lift up our glass to the present moment and we say Ashe, because from this moment, all our strength flow. And from this moment, we are creating the future. You know what I'm saying? The demonstrations that we do in front of our kids, they may not be acting like they get in their family, but they always do. They always do. History has always taught me that as long as your children see you do it, at first they might not shy away from it. They might not like it. They might run the total opposite direction, but at some point in their life, they always come back to it. This is why the black church has always been powerful in our community. I mean, because I want y'all to think about this. Everybody that's in the church, a lot of people that's in the church didn't stay in the church their whole life. They came back, right? And just like with this cultural piece that we're talking about, what we have to do, we have to start practicing the culture. And our children might go away from it for a little while, but they always come back. Why? Because a life crisis comes, and they're going to need the answers. They're going to be like, dang, I used to watch my dad pour libations. I used to watch my uncles pour libations. I used to watch them do sweat lodges, and we used to do all that stuff. And at some point in time in their life, they're going to come back to it. And it might be painful for you to watch what's going on with them, but family, they always come back. We just got to leave a strong foundation. We got to leave the rituals for them and leave somebody with the instructions to give it to them, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not against the black church. I appreciate everything that is done for me, because if not for the black church, I don't know where I would be, right? You know what I'm saying? If not for Beulah Baptist Church in Akron, Ohio, I don't know where I would be. Actually, I got to practice my reading. I might have not been listening to what the pastor was saying, but during church time, I was reading, right? And then I saw my grandfather getting up for their morning devotional. Now, it was an added benefit that my grandfather got up real early to go to work. My grandmother got up and had shit prepared for him when he went to work. So he would get up, he would get ready, my grandmother would get the breakfast ready, and they would sit down together and they would read the Bible. So I would come down, and because I was getting up early, because they was getting up like 5 o'clock, I get up, I sneak down there. My grandmother would have the breakfast ready, and they look at me like, boy, go back to sleep. I ain't going back to sleep. You done cooked. I'll go back to sleep after I eat. Well, if you're going to sit down and eat with us, you're going to have to read with us. Family. I want y'all to think about that. Right? My grandparents were possibly not the best readers. But one of the things is when I got up with them, they allowed me to join them in their study. They didn't try to force their shit on me. They allowed me to study. Right? And that habit still goes on to this day. Your children might walk away from what you're doing, but they always come back. Especially if it's a firm belief in you. If it's firm in you. Is the ancestors really something that you feel are worth saluting? Or is our past something you feel worth saluting? Is our cultural traditions like Kwanzaa something that you really feel that's important? And once you lay that foundation, they're always going to come back, family. Always. So be strong in what you're doing because your children are watching. So we toast our children and our children's children into infinity, and we leave them the tools, not the physical tools, but we leave them the mental warrior tools of the principle systems that we practice. We leave them the idea that their ancestors can assist them and will assist them. All they have to do is put in the work. All they have to do is recognize the ancestors. And we lift up our children in advance so that when we pass on, we got somebody left to lift us up. Now, my lines are open. Y'all can call in. Somebody call in. We can have a conversation because I ain't got to rush off, right? So we lift up our glass and we say, I say, from Nia family, we toast all of our relations, right? It's something I picked up from my Native American brothers and sisters, and salute, you know what I'm saying, all of our relations. The two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the winged, the elements, right? We salute all these things because it make it possible for us to exist in this life. So we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe, from Nia family, last but not least, I toast your beautiful self, your beautiful and powerful self. I toast you and I hope that you have found your purpose. And if not, I hope that you are searching for your purpose. See, because actually it's kind of funner to search for the purpose. But then once you got it, then family, that's when the power start collecting around you. This is when your ancestors start moving through you and start making shit happen. Trust me, I see it. I see it, right? And it's like, yo, family, get your purpose, because once you get your purpose, it's like having your aim. You know what I'm saying? It's like you develop a focus that nobody can beat if you're on your purpose. You get whooped all the time if you're on somebody else's purpose or you're on the wrong team's purpose, right? Right now, family, we playing for the wrong team. I know that's kind of hard for some of y'all. We playing for the wrong team. We putting money in the wrong team's pocket. We're giving political capital to the wrong team. We're giving social value to the spiritual and the principle systems of the wrong team, family. This is why we losing, right? You know, you cheering for the wrong team. You cartwheeling for the wrong team. You jumping up for the wrong team. So we're trying to build the right team. So I toast you that you may find your way. I toast you so that you may be able to run into your ancestors, whether they come to you in dreams or they actually run through you and make shit happen. We lift up the glass. We say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, and joy. I'm going to give y'all a couple more seconds while I sip on this so that y'all can come. If anything else, last night we had a great show. Let me read the proverbs from last night. Now, I keep on telling y'all, I call these crystallized wisdoms. Our ancestors left us all the answers. It's just crystallized wisdom, family. All we have to do is be willing to do the research and do what I call the wisdom mining. We have to be willing to get dirty with the concepts. We have to be willing to be wrong with the concepts. We got to be willing to share ideas with the concept. And sometimes we might get embarrassed. Sometimes we might get challenged. But in that dirtying up process, in that working process, in that warrior now, because listen, a lot of y'all be like, brother, how Tim, you talk about warriorship and shit. What does breaking down Proverbs got to do with warriors? When I work my mind against one of these Proverbs, what am I doing? I am in conflict with the proverb. And I'm battling the proverb, trying to pull out the secret. Pull out the thing that's in there for me. And I'm demonstrating to my kids the art of studying, the art of building up on something. So I'm going to read these. I'm going to let y'all go. Unless somebody call in. Day 5. Achievements seem to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. That's from a Conrad Hilton. You can look him up. You can find wisdom anywhere. I might not agree with the motherfucker all the way through. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Stop living a scared life, family. Stop living an uncourageous life. A lot of our lives are shrinking because of a lack of courage. But when we have the courage, our lives start expanding. All right? That's from Anas Nin. And the last one is from the Ashanti people. When one climbs a tree, one begins from the bottom and not the top. This one for me, if you go back and listen to last night's show, this one for me is the most important one for today. I like the other two, but this one right here illustrates one of the problems with a lot of organizations, right? We don't start from the bottom and move to the top. And sometimes those that start at the bottom, we overlook them for the flashy new motherfuckers. And we put those people up at the top of the tree, right? In each one of the communities from where y'all from, we have those that have been in the trenches for years. And you need to start celebrating them. And you need to start uplifting them. And you need to start respecting them because they started at the bottom. You want some water, baby? You want it in that bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I ain't going to let you take this down the basement because you break it.
No, I'm just going to drink it up here.
All right. My baby wants some water. In the middle of the toast. So, family, I toast you, and I'm going to sip. When we build in family, we need to start building with people that understand that there's a process. There's a process and respecting the process. Many of us are dealing with individuals that feel that no process applies to them.
It's time for me to get something to drink.
You know what I'm saying? No process applies to me. I'm the shit. I'm the shiznit. Right? Come on, family. Come on, family. You know what I'm saying? What work have you or other people done to honestly believe that you are the shitnits? Right? You are the top of the top. And our people are most of our people are one check away from homelessness. The fuck? What? I don't care how well you talk. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can show me some work. You know what I'm saying? Some writing, some real research, some getting out in the streets and doing some real work with real people.
Everybody.
I ain't got time. What you want? You want to say something? We about to roll because Miss Sasha want to say something to y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Come over here so they can see you.
Okay.
Huh?
Hey, everybody. I missed you.
All right. So, family. I mean, because think about it. And let's bring it to our personal families, right? One of the reasons that a lot of our families fall apart after the matriarch or the patriarch of the family dies is because everybody, how you doing? How you doing, Miss Trina? Is that a lot of people are contesting to be at the top of the tree. And nowadays, you even got young people who honestly believe that they should be running shit. Right? But you know, when Big Mama or Mima or whatever y'all called her was there was no contesting for the throne. Right? So one of the things we need to make sure, because we're moving, those of you that's in my group, we're moving towards eldership, we need to make sure that there is a direct line where there's a chosen heir. You know what I'm saying? So that you transfer the power. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I learned from reading the Bible is that, like, there's a few stories where individuals pass on the information, right? Where, like, I can't remember the name of the people in the story, but there was one story where one brother stole another brother's, I don't know which version. Well, this one comes from the King James, all right? But you had a brother who stole another brother's birthright, and the father was blind, and the father favored one son, so the mother had the son put on fur because the older brother was furry. So when he went into his father was blind, and he reached out and he touched him, and he said he passed on a blessing. He passed on a mantle of leadership to this boy. And when the father found out that he passed it to the wrong child, right, he started crying, and the father and the real oldest son came in and said, "Dad, Father, don't you have anything left for me?" So the father blessed him with something else, and that's something that, you know what I'm saying, something that we no longer do. We don't anoint our leaders or allow our leaders to be anointed. And I am stressing leaders because, family, this whole shit that each of us are leaders, each of us is a leader, is some bullshit. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Each one of us is not a leader. Some of us are counselors. Some of us are warriors. Some of us are priests. Some of us are engineers. Some of us are strictly scholars. Some of us may be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we belong to one of the sects, but all of us are not leaders, right? We might be leaders in our field, but when it comes to leading the people, we're not at. And we need to be able to admit that. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to admit that and get into our motherfucking place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be Don Corleone. God damn it. Everybody can't be Ramesses. Everybody can't be Taharka. Everybody can't, you know what I'm saying? But there's plenty of room for a bunch of Imhoteps. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of room for others. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of room for great warriors. There's plenty of room. And when we start getting into our places, family, that's when the world is going to start to shake. Right? Because we off this whole personal, this whole, I'm my own leader. I lead myself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Which is why we are broke. Everybody else understands. Like, you know what I'm saying? At any given time, somebody could step up to a black person and be like, give me, what do you think? What do you think should be the next move for black people? That motherfucker could speak, and next thing you know, there's a whole movement built up around what this motherfucker or fatherfucker said. Why do the people do this? White folks clear about their leaders. Asians clear about their leaders. You know what I'm saying? Hispanics clear about their leaders. Right? And when they address these people, they're not getting random people on the street. They go to certain places to talk to leaders. We're the only people that you can go into the hood and pull up and talk to somebody about the direction of black folks. Come on now, family. Come on now. All of All of us can't be leaders. And then this is the next thing, and I'm done. We need to stop telling our children that we all come from kings and queens. I know that's going to piss off some of y'all. We all come from kings and queens. Then if we all came from kings and queens, who was cleaning up the bathrooms? Who was taking out the trash? Who was fighting the wars? Who was building the pyramids and designing the towns? Who was healing the sick? Who was running the temples? Who was in charge of the economic system? When we take on this mantle and we program that each of us is a king and each of us is a queen, what we do is we weaken the idea of leadership. Some of us come from great warriors. Some of us come from great builders, man. Some of us come from great musicians and great artists. Some of us come, you know what I'm saying? And all that work together. See, because you can't have leadership. See, because the whole piece. You can't have leadership if you don't have a qualified group up under that leader to help them make the proper decisions. All right? Family, So if you lead, you're a leader on your own and all that. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. I understand order. I fall in line where I'm supposed to fall in line. You also have to be able to protect the leaders based upon past history, as you would want to avoid another Malcolm incident. Exactly. But now, it's two ways to protect the leaders. It's one, by developing the whole warrior piece and having those warriors around so that the leader can be protected, but also the leader got to protect the people by one, either having designated heirs or a designated heir to keep the confusion down, and also to be training the next generation so that any misstep that may happen with him, they will be able to step up and handle business. Right? One of the things we don't do is, like, for example, if you look even in our community now, we got elders holding on to leadership positions far too long and far too tightly. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're not passing it on. They're not, you know what I'm saying? There's no heir apparent. At least to your inside circle, precisely the work that needs to be done is very extensive, but it's very simple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, forming a wolf pack. It ain't hard for wolves. They do the shit. It ain't hard for lions. They do the shit. They have when you look at it, they got an economic system. They got a political system. The shit runs. You know what I'm saying? Ours don't necessarily have to be based on the strength piece like theirs. You know what I'm saying? But we need to go on and handle it. And it don't have to be one for all of us. What it has to be is that in each tribe, each community, you have a chief, a president, a CEO, right? I mean, because of course, last night now, it was Thanks for Taking Day, right? You know what I'm saying? It's Black Family Day. And one of the movies that pop up that I always try to watch a little bit of is The Godfather. Oh, God. Oh, man, I love that movie. Family, listen. You got the 5 families that come together. 5 heads. You can't get a seat at the table if you don't have a family. If you don't have a family up under you, a tribe up under you, because the families are made up of different individuals, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the same last name, but the leadership is very clear in that family, right? Every now and then you have fights amongst them for who's going to be the next one to rise up. But the point I'm trying to make is you can't sit at the table if you don't have a family. And in a sense, where did the Sicilians get that shit from, family? Where did they get it from? Somebody tell me. But hey, this brother Hot Tim, I've been on here long enough. running my jaws and shit. I love each and every last one of you. Shouts out to Damari, Demi Foss. How you doing, sir? Shouts out to Miss Trina Jackson. Shouts out to Charles E. Campbell. Of course, shouts out to the amazing Anubis, the unsleeping one. Shouts out to Darnell Smith. Shouts out to Navita Nelson. Shouts out to Naichi Dominguez. Shouts out to my beautiful daughter Yolanda Brooks. Shouts out to LaDonna Copeland. Shouts out to the marvelous Stephanie M. Jackson. Shouts out to Nehemiah. Shouts out to Yusef, the Incense Man. I want to thank each and every last one of you for coming and toasting the ancestors with me. And even though nobody called in, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. Even though nobody called in, we had a great show. I want to thank each and every last one of you for your energy. I want to thank our ancestors for allowing us another day to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Another day to get it right. All right, Brother Nubis, it's just me and you on here, family. I'm out. You have a great day, sir. Oh, I forgot to let y'all know. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. My fault. You're now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. This is a Heart of a Symbol production. We just did the Daily Toast. How you doing, Miss Trina Jax? Of course, you know it's a Heart of a Symbol production where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Y'all take it easy, fam.